Hello, thank you so much for watching this presentation. My name is Sara Gardner. I'm an alumni of Arkansas 4-H, and I'm very excited today to share with you how to stay connected through volunteerism and voice. And I'm going to be talking about Pledge to Patriotism, which is my 4-H service initiative.
I was 10 years old. I had just finished speaking about American flag etiquette at a flag retirement ceremony in a Harley-Davidson parking lot when a Vietnam War veteran approached me. With a tear running down his cheek, he looked me in the eyes and trembled as he said thank you, then kissed me on the forehead and walked away. In that moment, I began to understand the power of Old Glory. The flames that consumed that flag are the same flames that ignited the fire of passion for patriotism within my soul. The American flag is not just an emblem, but it tells a story. The story of thousands of men and women, prisoners of war and the missing in action, veterans, heroes who have sacrificed and even given their lives so that we may be free and live in the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America. Our flag is our reminder that freedom is not free. I believe it is true that our flag does not fly because the wind blows. It flies with the last breath of every American soldier who gave their life defending it. Our flag deserves respect and honor. For more than 2 centuries, the American flag has led our nation through times of war and through times of peace. In the words of Ruth Apperson Rouse, Americans, our flag is the sacred emblem of our country, symbolizing your heritage of liberty purchased with blood and sorrow. Dedicate your lives to the principles for which Old Glory stands. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for watching. That video really speaks to me because when I created it, I really just thought about what the flag meant, and it represents the freedom that our veterans have fought for and the freedom that our Constitution was founded upon. And so I think that really just provides us with a foundation for this presentation of what we have to be grateful for, and that's the freedom that we see every time we see the American flag and the freedom that shapes every purpose behind what we're talking about today, and that's our veterans and why we should honor them. So my name is Sara Gardner. I am 19 years old. I live in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I was in Arkansas 4-H for 11 years. And my 4-H story began with the flag speech when I was 8 years old. So this is me in the top right. And I'm still speaking about the flag today, so it's very near and dear to my heart. But I'm passionate about serving veterans, and I'm so excited for this opportunity to share ideas with you today. And I hope that you learned something from this presentation that you can bring back to other 4-Hers and just share it with people so that we can create a movement for honoring our veterans. So today I want to tell you a little bit about how we can learn to serve and honor American veterans by using our voice and by volunteering. Be a voice for veterans. It is such a great outlet to use 4-H to be a voice for veterans and to be an advocate for the freedom that our flag stands for and the freedom of our Constitution. So something that you can do or encourage other 4-Hers to do is to prepare a patriotic 4-H speech and to share it with everyone you know. So it would be so awesome to go to your talks and demonstrations, county competitions, and district and state competitions and speak about flag etiquette, about the U.S. Constitution and patriotism and voting. But it is so cool too because you can take it even a step further and ask to speak at local civic events such as Rotary, Elks Club, American Legion, and Veterans of Foreign Wars. And it's all about sharing your story and encouraging other people to take action to serve veterans. So for me, when I was 8 years old, I came home from my 3rd grade classroom with a pamphlet about flag etiquette that the Elks Lodge had brought to my classroom. And I showed it to my mom and I said, can we make a 4-H speech about the American flag and how to honor it? And she said yes, and so we worked on it, and soon thereafter, I gave it for 4-H, and she called the Veterans Hospital in Fayetteville, in my town, and asked if I could come and present the speech there. And so I did. And afterwards, U.S. Congressman John Bozeman was there, and he came up to me and said, both of my daughters were in 4-H, and next to church, it's the best thing for youth to be involved in. I just encourage you to keep going. So that was really special for me because that was the beginning of all of this. And so whenever you go and beyond just your 4-H competitions, you have amazing opportunities to tell your story and just to take it even a step further because you get to share it with everyone, not just with your 4-H club. Another way that we can stay connected is by volunteering for veterans. This is really special because there are opportunities for people of all ages to get involved any day of the year. You don't have to wait for a holiday, and you don't even have to wait until the end of quarantine. There are so many ways to engage, and this is really special because there is an opportunity for you to get involved and for you to do what you love while serving others. And this is so special because you get to serve the people who have served our country. You get to serve our veterans. And that is just incredible, and it's so humbling because whenever you volunteer, you get to hear their stories and give back to the people who have given so much to us. And you can encourage your friends to come with you and mobilize other young people and adults to come and just to understand the importance that freedom isn't free and that it's something that we should never take for granted, not a single day. So some of the ways to engage include performing at veterans events and at the veterans nursing home. This is fun if you love to sing or dance, or even if you just love to sing Christmas carols or to sing gospel songs, whatever you like to do. If you're in a school choir, you can invite your choir to go sing. And this is so special because they receive benefits in nursing homes such as eating better, sleeping better, and exercising more. But you also just reap so much joy from going and visiting with the residents and hearing their stories. And it's just so special to go and perform for them because it's really a win-win situation. Likewise, another way to get involved is to make and deliver cards to veterans in your community. This is so much fun because it's a great way to engage people of all ages. This is a really fun thing to do at 4-H meetings as people are arriving or after the meeting concludes for a fun activity. You can make cards for any day of the year just to say thank you, but you can also make cards for numerous holidays throughout the year, even ones that people normally don't recognize, such as Flag Day. There's so many opportunities to get involved and just to show our appreciation for the veterans who have fought for our freedom, and making cards is such a fun way to do that. You can also make and deliver meal tray decorations for the veterans hospitals and nursing homes. This is fun because it's a good way to make crafts, and you can even make a few extra to enter in the county fair in the craft competition if you want to. But having little meal tray decorations really brightens their day whenever they get their meals. And so making those decorations is a good way to have a fun craft and bond with other 4-Hers and other people while you're making them. And then also you get to bless veterans who are eating their meals at the hospitals and nursing homes. During quarantine, serving might look a little bit different, but there are still so many ways to get involved. You can make masks for veterans and healthcare workers at the Veterans Hospital, and you can go to cdc.gov for guidelines on doing so. But I know that at our Veterans Hospital in Fayetteville, there's a tremendous need for masks right now. And so volunteering is really all about meeting the needs that are right in front of us by using the skills and abilities that we have. So if your skill is sewing, or if you want to learn how to sew, this is a great way to meet that need and to truly serve the veterans and the healthcare workers who are truly heroes right now. There are also a numerous number of regional national cemetery activities that we can look at on the next slide. So Getting involved in the National Cemetery is so special because behind every headstone is a story. And our veterans are so much more than statistics, but they are heroes. And at the Fayetteville National Cemetery, we have over 9,000 veterans who are buried here. And this is so special because each one of them is a hero. And every time we place a flag or place a wreath or wash a headstone, we get to say thank you and step back and place our hands over our hearts and honor the men or the women who are behind that headstone and this story of sacrifice and heroism and bravery for which they devoted their lives to. And so this is just so special, and it's a great opportunity to reflect and to teach the next generation about the importance of patriotism. So every day or every year at cemeteries across the country, there are Memorial Day flag placement ceremonies. So this is where people come out and place an American flag in front of every headstone. This is so special and beautiful to see the cemetery covered in these flags, but it's also a great way to serve. You can go help put the flag in front of the headstone and help take it up after Memorial Day is over. And sometimes at cemeteries they have ceremonies, and while that is not happening this year, flag placements are still happening. I know it's still happening at our cemetery with different social distancing guidelines, and so still you can seek for this opportunity to get involved because it's so special, and it's something that can engage the whole family too. Wreaths Across America is a similar event that takes place in December of each year, and it involves placing a wreath in front of every grave at the National Cemetery. This is also really special because during Christmas time, many people might be missing the person who is behind that headstone, and so this is a great way to honor and commemorate their sacrifice and just show how much we appreciate their freedom and to tell them that they are not forgotten. And finally, another way to get involved at the National Cemetery is by helping wash headstones. This is a fun way to, again, engage the whole family and do something that involves meeting the need right in front of you. So now we're going to talk about some nursing home opportunities. Something that you can go do is to make cards and visit with the residents. This is so special, and you can coordinate it with your local activities director at your local veterans home. And they're normally so thrilled to have people come in, especially young people. It's really fun for the residents, and it's so much fun for us too. Also, going and singing Christmas carols at the nursing home is so much fun because you get to share Christmas joy and happiness with the residents there. But you can also go and sing any day of the year, anytime, and this is so much fun. Some other opportunities include having a canned food drive. This is something that you can implement at your county fair. Our county fair each year has a discount night on Tuesday where people get to get into the fair for a discounted rate since it's the first night if they bring canned food items. And so for the past 3 years, our 4-H club has partnered with the county fair ambassadors to have this canned food drive and collect canned foods for HUD-VASH, which is for the homeless veterans in Northwest Arkansas. This is so special. It normally raises about 2,000 canned food items, and we get to help go stock and organize the pantry, the canned food pantry at the HUD-VASH Center. And this is so special, and it's a great way to utilize the resources of your local community to build that partnership with your county fair board and create canned food items to raise those for people in need. You can also have a card writing party. This is something that I've done on my University of Arkansas campus a couple of times this year. We had one on Veterans Day, the week of Veterans Day, called Treats with Troops, where we had cake and we had card writing, and we just got to hang out with student veterans and students. This was really special because it was a good way to foster that engagement and also make cards. And we made them for student veterans, and we also delivered them to local veterans at the VA. And then this picture is from Valentine's for Veterans, which is a national salute to veterans patients that happens at veterans hospitals around the country. So we made cards on campus, and it was so much fun. We got over 100 students to stop by and eat a cupcake and make a card. And finally, something fun that we've got to do in this season is to have a quarantine parade that drove by the Veterans Nursing Home and the hospital in Fayetteville. This was amazing because 100 cars came out to drive by the hospital and the nursing home and to wave at the veterans and just to tell them how much we loved and appreciated them and our healthcare workers during this season. So this is a fun way to say thank you, even 6 feet apart. And a last opportunity that I want to share with you is the Veterans History Project. This is an oral history project through the Library of Congress that's focused on telling and preserving the stories of American veterans so that future generations know and understand the realities of war. So this is so special because not only do you get to tell the veteran story, but you get to preserve it through the Library of Congress website so that future generations and even future generations of your family can know and type in the name of your veteran and have it right there digitally preserved so that we will never ever forget them and their sacrifice. So this looks like interviewing the veteran with your phone or your camera or whatever resource you have. And there's a field kit that can help you along the process with different questions to ask and different permission forms to fill out. But it is so incredible because you get to be a part of something so much bigger than yourself. And it's amazing to know that your story and your veteran story is preserved through the Library of Congress. And so this is an amazing initiative that I encourage all of you to take back to local 4-H clubs and encourage people to get involved in because we have so many veterans with amazing stories that need to be told and they need to be preserved. So this is our duty and our responsibility to do our part and use our resources to meet this need and to help preserve their stories. Staying connected means bridging generational gaps. And remember, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. In Ronald Reagan's words, we didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope that you learned the importance of being a voice and volunteering to honor our veterans, and that you will go home or stay home and stay connected by honoring veterans right where you are. So if you have any questions, I would love to talk with you. If you want to email me at pledgetopatriotism@gmail.com. And if you want to keep up with everything that Pledge to Patriotism is doing and where my heart is, you can go to Instagram and follow at Pledge to Patriotism. And if it's easier for you to contact via DM, I also run that account, so I'm happy to answer your DMs there. But please stay in touch and let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I would love to hear how you are honoring veterans